Hey everyone, this is our last week in Genesis, so we're going to be summarizing a lot of Joseph's story. The brothers said to each other, "Here comes the big dreamer. Come on now, let's kill him and throw him into the cisterns, and we'll say a wild animal devoured him. Then we'll see what becomes of his dreams." They sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph to Egypt. When Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, Potiphar, Pharaoh's chief officer and the commander of the royal guard, and an Egyptian, purchased him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. Yahweh was with Joseph, and he became a successful man and served in his Egyptian master's household. But when Joseph's master heard the thing that his wife told him, he was incensed. Joseph's master took him and threw him in jail. While he was in jail, Yahweh was with Joseph and remained loyal to him. He caused the jail's commander to think highly of Joseph. So here we're seeing just some of the ups and downs of Joseph's life, right? He starts out last week as dad's favorite, and then his brothers get so annoyed at his dreams, they throw him in a pit and sell him into slavery, where he gets sold to this high-up Egyptian officer. And he does so well there that he's basically put in charge of his household, but then he's falsely accused. We'll talk more about that later this week. And then he's sent to prison, but then he does so well in the prison that he's basically put in charge there as well. And then after many years in jail, he interprets dreams for some key people that leads to him interpreting a dream for the Pharaoh. And so then he becomes basically the prime minister of Egypt, the second in command there. So as we see the way that his life goes down into the pit and then is brought back out, where is God at work? You know, there's kind of this interesting thing in Joseph's story where, you know, his brothers trying to prevent the dreams actually kind of make it come true, right? They send him to Egypt where he comes into power. And there are points where it clearly says that God is with Joseph. God is blessing him. Maybe we're seeing again the promise of Abraham coming true in his case. But we have to ask, how would you know that God is with somebody today? Is it, you know, usually what success means? If someone is doing well at their job, if they have a lot of money, or if they're healthy, does that automatically mean that, well, God's with them? Maybe, maybe not. It kind of depends on how they get it. I think the important thing for us to think about, though, is that Joseph is successful, but he's usually still a slave. I mean, shouldn't God's presence mean that he wouldn't be stuck in a bad situation like that? I think we should understand that clearly God's blessings don't fix everything. That often we're blessed in the midst of a bad situation. God's presence doesn't prevent tragedy, but provides a way through it. You know, often our good shepherd leads us through the valley of the shadow of death, even when we would rather just go around it. And so this is not a simplistic promise, right? Just do right and eventually everything will be good and you'll be successful. Instead, we should trust that in our darkest moments, we're not abandoned. And ask ourselves, what might blessing actually look like right here in this moment?